pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Clerk, can I have you take a roll call, please?
Councilmember Molinar.
Here.
Councilmember Burke.
Here.
Councilmember Menzies.
Here.
Mayor Duncan.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Young.
Here.
Councilmember Morris.
Here.
Councilmember Paranto.
Here.
Thank you. With that, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion on tonight's agenda. What's the pleasure of the council?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Councilmember Burke, seconded by Councilmember Paranto. Let's go ahead and put it to electronic vote. Motion passes. Agenda is approved as stands. With that, we'll go ahead and move into our public comment portion. Members of the audience are invited to speak at the meeting. Public comment is reserved for citizens' comments on items not contained to the public hearing portion of the agenda. Citizen comments are limited to 5 minutes per speaker. When several people wish to speak on the same position on a given item, they are requested to select a spokesperson to state that position. With that, we'll kick it off with good old Jim Hatfield. Come on forward, state your name and address for the record.
Hickory Lane.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. They call me Jim Hatfield, 345 Hickory Lane. Just a couple of quick questions. On the consent agenda, the resolution about updating the strategic plan, I didn't see what changed. So I'm curious to find out what changed in the plan, because it just says, here's the new plan, and it's hard to compare to the old. So that's one item. Second one was about changing the name of Weld County Road 44. What's the rush? Why is it on the consent agenda? Why can't people be given more than 3 days to be notified about it, to maybe think about it? Unless there's a real rush, it could have just been done the normal way with new business and old business. And then the last one, about the devolution of the frontage road. Is this both north and south of Highway 60? And how far south of Highway 60 will it be closed as well? That's it.
Thanks, Jim. Anything you want to add to that, Matt, on those three questions?
So I heard two of the three. Sorry.
Your mic's not on, I don't think.
Let me start over.
Okay.
All right. I heard two of the three questions. Sorry, I was dealing with the technology
So-
issue in the background.
The
One was the update to the strategic plan.
What are the differences?
So there was some small tweaks to the different elements inside of the objectives and the goals and the action plans. Nothing substantive, I'd say. Some more refining to them. If that's something that the council would like to take off the agenda maybe and speak to, Mitzi could probably speak to that a little bit more eloquently.
My main concern is, in the documents, it should have highlighted what changed.
Sure.
It did not.
Understood.
Mr. Mayor, I think, through Matt, or however, I think if we could just provide updated changes to the public so they can see that, I don't think we need to discuss. I read it,
That would be great.
But just say, here's the old one, here's the new one, here's the changes.
You could probably just post it to the website.
Yeah.
And then shoot you a separate email.
We can send it to you, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, your second question,
About renaming of Road 44.
and what was the question specifically?
Why are we rushing it instead of doing it in the normal course of business as new business and old business?
So we have a new development out there. being the golf course, and to synchronize kind of with the naming of the golf course. That's why that request is being made.
I have no objection to that. I was just
Sure.
wondering why the rush.
Yeah, I think it's, the naming of the streets is something that generally the town does do when we get annexed into those general areas. It doesn't take away that it is still, it's interesting, right? You go through a community here in Colorado, and based on if you call it County Road 44 or if you call it Bell Ridge Parkway,
Right.
that kind of delineates how long you've been in the community, I'd
Okay.
say, to a small extent. It will still always be County Road 44, but locally it will be known as Bell Ridge Parkway. So we're not taking away necessarily that.
I get that.
that
I'm just
element.
wondering.
It
why-
was also a request made by the adjacent property owner that's done a substantial amount of improvements to that, and we are supportive of
If I
renaming
could add
that.
also, when a county road gets annexed into the town, it's totally appropriate to rename it to a town name and not keep it as a county road any longer. So it's been in the town for quite a while, so it's reasonable request.
Yeah, I was just wondering why we're rushing the name.
I don't know that we're rushing it.
Well,
It
just
got
on-
annexed in 21, I
No,
believe.
it's just on the consent agenda, and people have only had a couple of days to look that it's even there.
It's not a public hearing item.
Right.
I don't know that it's being rushed.
Okay.
So-
And the last question was about the devolution of the frontage
So,
road?
so the devolution, it is going to be the section from Weld County Road 50, Veterans Parkway, all the way up to Ronald Reagan Boulevard. I will note that there is a small segment in there that we are working collaboratively on with the city of Loveland that they annexed 15, 20 years ago, probably during what we affectionately refer to as our annexation wars. And they are we're working collaboratively with them to disconnect that section of the roadway.
The people who live on the frontage road south of 60, they'll still have their road?
Yes, that segment of the frontage road will still belong to the Colorado Department of Transportation.
Okay.
And I think by law, CDOT is precluded from actually abandoning that roadway until, you can't prevent a property owner by law
Right.
from accessing their property from an existing roadway.
Okay.
So that is not going to change, just a segment north from Weld County Road 50.
Okay. So you said it's just north of Veterans Parkway?
From that intersection north.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was hoping that there would be a map in the meeting files, but there was not.
Yeah, so back, if you read the memo, the communication back in 2018, this issue was brought up, and we have been working on this for 7 years. I can understand your request, though.
Okay.
That
That's
is a fair expectation
Okay.
next time.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Jim. Great questions, great answers, Matt. Thank you. Next, we have Blake Anderson. Please come up, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Blake Anderson. I live at 1525 Mallard Drive. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Again, my name is Blake Anderson. I live in the Pioneer Ridge neighborhood just to the south of here, along County Road 17. Me and my wife have lived there for nearly 5 years. We have a now 1-year-old daughter. And in addition to that, I've been a firefighter in surrounding communities for the last 9 years. In my profession, we talk constantly about prevention versus response. And I'm here tonight in the spirit of prevention to request a safety review of roadway design, specifically along the Pioneer Ridge subdivision, of the roadway design and speed transition along that stretch of County Road 17 with the Pioneer Ridge neighborhood. As the road is exiting town, it expands to 2 lanes right at the neighborhood. It was part of the developer's access to the neighborhood. And it returns to 1 at the southern end, 0.65 miles in total, that it's 2 lanes. That's it, and it goes back to 1. In that 0.65 mile stretch, there are 3 right turn entrances to subdivision, each painted with just a single right turn arrow. I don't know if y'all can see that. 2 of the 3 are just that, and then the final one does actually have turn lane markings. There's no signage stating right lane must turn right. There's no other arrows. There's no advance warning. And in practice, this lane is serving as a passing lane, not as a turn lane. Excuse me. Over the past couple weeks, I've conducted 2 separate observation periods of 15 minutes apiece. In the first 15-minute observation, 18 vehicles drove straight through the marked turn lane. And in the second 15-minute observation, 14 vehicles did the exact same. In each of those same time periods, only 2 vehicles actually turned right into the neighborhood. During my observations, even a marked police cruiser continued straight through the turn lane, which reinforces my concern that the markings might not be sufficiently clear or intuitive for drivers. Additionally, at the same widening point, the speed limit transitions from 35 to 45 and then 55 at the end of the neighborhood. When the roadway widens and the speed limit increases simultaneously, it's encouraging an acceleration and passing behavior at these residential access points and in our backyards. A few months back, there was a serious collision right in my backyard. As a firefighter, I ran over and assisted. Both the drivers wound up having to be cut out of their respective vehicles. I rendered first aid until first responders got there and assisted throughout all of that. This was the first of many accidents that have happened here over the years at these entrance points. I don't share that for a fact, only to say that speed differential and passing behavior in that stretch are not just theoretical concerns. And I feel like as the town's growing, I'd like to request a review of that speed limit as well and potentially get it lowered down to 35. With Centennial Park being developed just to the north, pedestrian and bicycle traffic are starting to increase along this corridor as well. I believe that the roadway design and traffic flow should reflect that reality as well. And so tonight I'm asking council to consider installing clear right turn lane must turn right signage as well as roadway paintings to indicate that these are turn lanes, not passing lanes. Conducting a speed study with consideration of extending the 35-mile-per-hour zone through that neighborhood stretch and incorporating it, making it more Johnstown, and then getting out into the county. And then reviewing the corridor in light of town and residential growth and the future of the Centennial Park development as well. Good roadway design makes the safe behavior the obvious behavior, and I thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Blake. Matt, is that something we can look into, at least the signage portion for the short term?
Mayor, yes, I'll get with our Public Works team and see what kind of evaluations we could do.
Also, can you follow up with an email and CC me and Matt on that so we have all that information
Absolutely.
as well?
Just last week, I also submitted like a written thing to Public Works, but I'll absolutely send it to all of y'all as well with all of this.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for
Perfect.
bringing
Thank
that
you
to
all.
our attention.
I appreciate it.
Hey, Chief, can we offer him a PD job? You can always use a good firefighter.
Anytime.
All right. Is anybody else here for in-person public comment before we switch to online? All right, nothing heard. Over to you, Megan.
Mayor Duncan, you did receive 2 online public comment submissions. The first is from Tanya Anderson at 2107 Kiersey Court in Johnstown. She says, "Dear Johnstown Town Council members, I am writing to you today to formally express my concerns regarding the ongoing partnership between the town of Johnstown and the YMCA. Recent developments and financial disclosures suggest that the reputation and fiscal integrity of our recreation center are at significant risk under the current management. This is a pattern of failure and downsizing. As you are aware, the Longmont YMCA is scheduled to close at the end of this month. This marks the 3rd closure within a single year under this association. And recently, Camp Santa Maria, owned by the Mary M. Dower Benevolent Corporation, is suing the YMCA NOCO. This raises a critical question. Why is Johnstown still paying for a Northern Region executive salary, Pat Murray, when that region has effectively downsized to just one location, ours? We are paying for a regional infrastructure that no longer exists. Mismanagement of taxpayer funds. The town of Johnstown provides taxpayer contributions to ensure affordable access for all citizens. However, despite these funds, rates continue to climb. It appears our tax dollars are not being used to lower costs for residents, but are instead being diverted to redundant executive roles, funding 2 executive branch managers who perform the same job during the same hours, a luxury no other branch in the association maintains. Executive compensation. Well, staff raises and professional evaluations have been frozen since 2023. Management received significant raises and bonuses in 2024. Unfinished projects. The 2024 Aquatic Center lighting project remains half finished. Was the contractor paid directly by the town, or was money given to the YMCA that never reached the project? This remains missing from the reports. Findings from the independent auditor's report, Stockman, Cast, Ryan, and Co. LLP. The data from the 2024 audit is deeply troubling and highlights a massive disparity in how money is being spent. Financial disparity. According to the 2024 independent audit, management level salaries increased by approximately $500,000, while management benefits more than doubled, rising from $463,000 in 2023 to $349,000 in 2024. It is difficult to reconcile these massive executive bonuses with the simultaneous closure of branches due to financial trouble. Lack of transparency. All salaries are currently lumped into one category to hide these specifics. Furthermore, as we approach the end of February, the 2025 year-end summary is still missing. And the forensic audit has already signaled red flags regarding how town funds are being utilized. If the YMCA views taxpayer contributions as profit rather than operational support, the fiscal relationship is fundamentally broken. It states in the Hometown Weekly, the article about sharing that the YMCA NOCO is being sued, states the Dower's top priority is ensuring the safety of children at our camp, and we were deeply disturbed to discover the YMCA was not fully honest or transparent with us, Campbell said. The YMCA's refusal to take accountability forced us to bring this lawsuit. There is a lack of transparency. What else are they hiding? This sounds very familiar to what is happening to Johnstown. Operational integrity and safety. The ongoing lawsuits against YMCA NOCO regarding child care license violations at other branches are a red flag for our community. Furthermore, the lawsuit brought by the Dower family regarding their campsite mirrors our own situation. They cited a refusal to take accountability and a lack of honesty. There are growing reports of inconsistent narratives being shared with members, as well as termination of staff members who question management's narrative. This creates a culture of fear rather than a community-focused environment. What the Y is telling all of their partners is the same they are telling you. All talk, no action, lies. Conclusion: when is enough enough? The YMCA's mission is built on honesty and responsibility, yet their current trajectory suggests a focus on executive bonuses over community service. Johnstown residents deserve a management partner that is transparent and fiscally responsible. Each time we receive financial reports from the Y, questionable bills are showing up. The only way Johnstown can truly know where their tax dollars are going is for Johnstown to be in charge of the accounting for the rec center. I urge the council to exercise its oversight, acknowledge the evidence provided by the forensic audit, all other information that has been available online, and move to terminate the contract with the YMCA. It is time to find management that prioritizes Johnstown residents. This would be the best course of action and use of $500,000. I look forward to your response and to seeing the council take decisive action to protect our town's assets. If this information is all new to you, please reach out to me and I will gladly send you over public information that is posted online. Sincerely, Tanya Anderson, Johnstown resident. The second public comment that you received was from Shannon Kindred at 1813 North 3rd Street in Johnstown. She says, "We are residents of Rolling Hills Ranch. For the past several months, we have witnessed blatant, reckless behavior by children and young adults cruising around on e-bikes and gas-powered mini bikes. While out walking in our neighborhood, walking downtown, or simply working in our yard, we have observed numerous near misses between automobiles and motorized e-bikes. They don't obey stop signs, they ride up the middle of streets, and they speed through parks and HOA common space paths. What can be done to curb this behavior before a pedestrian or a young child is harmed or worse? This issue has become a daily occurrence in Johnstown neighborhoods." End of comment.
Thank you, Megan. Are we anywhere new with the whole e-bike ordinance or anything you'd like to add to, Avi or Chief?
We've been working together, and we have what we think to be a pretty good ordinance we're going to present during the work session. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We're going to present something at the work session, but I would add one of the things that we really need help from the community is calling the non-emergency line to let us know when that's happening. I mean, I have, officers that are up at Shields or down somewhere, and so unless we can get some kind of call on when it's happening and to try to get there, it's really hard to catch that on random patrol.
Thanks, Chief. Thanks, Avi. So if you're listening out there in the public, if you see e-bikes, call the non-emergent line so they can dispatch patrols out. All right, with that, we'll go ahead and close out public comment, move to the consent agenda. On the consent agenda is the February 2nd, 2026 Town Council meeting minutes. Resolution 2026-12, updating the Town of Johnstown Strategic Plan. Resolution 2026-10, changing the name of WCR 44 and January 2026 financial statements, and approval of a letter to the FHAA for devolution of the I-25 East Front Range Road. I'll go ahead and ask the pleasure of the council.
Move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Menzies, seconded by Councilmember Berg. Let's go and put it to electronic vote. Ayes have it. The consent agenda is approved as stands. With that, we'll go and move into the town manager report. I don't have any questions, but I'll defer to council if they have any. Go ahead, Matt.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Hope you're doing well. Just a couple quick items. First and foremost, Standard & Poor's. They just recently reevaluated our sewer bonds. They like doing a periodic check-in, and they have reaffirmed our A+ rating on our bonds. So that's a positive thing. They see our outlook as overall stable and in a good direction. Secondly, Friday finish line, hopefully you got the CIP overview report. A lot of projects in there, a lot of good things that staff are doing. So I just want to recognize all the staff that contributed to that and everybody that does play an integral role in that and the general operations in the town. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have for me.
Council have any questions for Matt?
Yes, Matt. Question I have is West Alley project.
Yes.
I did see the informational that you provided as well as the timeline. That timeline far exceeds anything that we as citizens and business owners were told. So I know things happen, we discover, and I'd rather actually take measured responses versus go in there and do construction and then find problems. But I'm hearing a lot of concern from the business owners on the west side of, or on that side, on the west side of Parrish, regarding the timeline and the disruption of the things. I do agree with you, the town staff has been very responsive, but the contractors have not. So I just don't know if there's another communication going out to the business owners, and some of this stuff is out of the town's control, but the citizens don't see it as that.
Right. So obviously the first phase of that is getting the utilities under the ground before we can actually start the actual true construction, which I think is slated for, it looks like August of this year. When they do that construction, they will certainly be coordinating with the businesses as much as possible. And I think they're planning on doing it in phases so that they aren't closing down that entire alleyway, that they will try to mitigate as much inconvenience as possible. So for example, if a business has parking in the back or something like that, they're still going to maintain a certain amount of parking spaces in phase one, while some of them may be interrupted during that time. And then before they finish, or after they finish phase one, make sure that that access point is still there, the parking is still there, and then move on to phase two and three and subsequently on. There are still a number of coordinating items that still need to be completed, including coordination if all of the property owners are receptive and want to move towards a centralized solid waste containment area. And that would be a fenced-in area that everybody has access to that's for those business owners specifically. In terms of the, I don't know where they are exactly on the gas. I think they're pretty close to done. I don't know if they finished your property specifically. They have not.
They're coming back on Friday.
Thanks, Councilmember Burke. Oh, go ahead.
And then they still have 2 remaining customer switches to perform for TDS at 10 South Parish and 113 West First Street as well. I know the town sent out notices to those folks to try to provide them as much advance notice and direct communication. This is a difficult project, and I'm not trying to make excuses, but we are trying to expedite this stuff as quickly as possible, while at the same time trying to prevent as least inconvenience as possible. So, I would encourage property owners to continue contacting me, the Public Works Department, on those issues as they do arise. But we want to make sure that at the end of the day, hopefully this is a project that they say, man, there was a little bit of a pain, probably no different than the streetscape project that happened 12 years ago. And that we're in a position where they say, this is something that we're all proud of as well.
Thank you, Councilmember Berg. Thank you, Matt. Any other further questions for Matt from council? All right, nothing heard. Thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to council reports and comments. Sorry, audience, it was kind of a short one, but we got 2 executive sessions, but I don't think you want to sit around and wait for that. So we'll go ahead and start down here with Councilmember Paranto.
Tomorrow, IEEE is having Terror Power down in Denver to discuss the small modular reactor that they're putting in up in Kemmer, Wyoming for the data center. I encourage anyone who's interested to come down. You don't have to be a member to join, to go to our events. If you're interested, go to, or just Google IEEE High Plains section, and the details will be there on the website.
Thank you, Councilmember Morris.
I have nothing.
Councilmember Molnar.
Nothing, thanks.
Councilmember Berg.
Nothing.
Councilmember Menzies.
Nothing.
All right, I guess we'll finish it off with Mayor Pro Tem.
I have nothing as well. Thank you.
All right, like I said, it's election season. Get out, know your candidates. You got some folks that are running the crowd tonight. Mr. Cortez and Mr. Bashford, they're new candidates, and also get to know your incumbents as well, do your research. I'd like to see us get more voters out there, because I think we had a little under 2,000 folks vote, and we got roughly over 18,000 folks within the community. So ensure you're exercising your right to vote and not take that so lightly. In other news, I want to thank staff and council for putting in a lot of hard time, or a lot of hours and hard work. The year's just getting started, so we got more to go. Also, council, make sure you get your evaluations done for Matt's end of year. I sent out an email on that. I want to make sure we have full 100% participation on that this year. With that, I don't have anything further, so we'll go ahead and move into the executive session portion. So I'll entertain a motion into executive session to receive legal advice from the town attorney pursuant to CRS section 24-6-4024 Bravo, easement negotiation and condemnation to discuss matters subject to negotiation, to instruct negotiators pursuant to CRS section 24-6-4024 Echo regarding the NOCO YMCA. Go ahead and ask the pleasure of council.
Also move.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Young, seconded by Councilmember Paranto. We'll go ahead and put it to vote, please. All right, ayes have it. We're adjourned to executive session.
Is this what you got? With the little gemstone on it? This little piece?
This is what she did for me.
Come on, Grizzly Adams.
You're walking slower over there? Look at you.
The heat slows.
The draft coefficient on your beard.
All right, we are back in session. No decisions were made during the executive session, and besides the topics of the executive session, no other topics were discussed. We're going to adjourn tonight's meeting. Thank you.